Thank you.
So we was all going tomorrow. Look, there's Petra. Oh, Petra's coming in now. Look, we're all. Hello, you're live on podcast.
How are you?
How are we?
Hi, how are you? She's asking for the ring that you found in your garden. Do you know where it is?
I gave it to the housekeeper yesterday, Sylvie. Just.
Wow.
Can you take the dog out as well?
Wow.
We're actually live on our podcast at the minute.
What'd you say?
We're actually live on our podcast at the moment.
Who's going to win the league, Petra?
Who's going to win the league? Who?
Chelsea.
That's what we like.
Oh, right, okay.
You know.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, Petra and Molly.
Mate, that dog's unbelievable.
Bye, Sam.
It's lovely, that dog, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Taking some shit about that dog this week on Instagram
Why?
because of the cropped ears. I didn't even know.
notice-
I had
didn't
no
you notice?
idea that that's not how they are. And then everyone has gone mad. I've had every RSPCA, Peter Nutter.
What
all
a
got fucking
cropped ears.
rainbows in their fucking thing, blue hair. They've all got it all. And now they're going after dogs. I just said, fuck off and leave me alone about the dog. The dog's lovely. Do you know what I mean?
It's not like you to be
does it
causing
have-
a stir on Instagram.
Does
Sam.
it have cropped ears?
Yeah.
Oh.
Seems happy enough to you, doesn't it?
I wouldn't even
Look
know.
where it's living.
Didn't even know.
Welcome to Football or Soccer, the podcast. Sam Palmer, Tony Tafe, Chris Dyson, and we've got Sam Collins with us today. It's nice of you to show up, Sam.
I know.
Turned up
Thanks,
late.
mate.
Some of us have to work, unfortunately, these days.
Let me tell you, if we were Ruben Amorim,
Yeah.
you've been the reserves this week.
It's true.
How good's he, by the
It's
way?
true.
Love that.
Handled it well,
Love
didn't
him.
he?
Yeah. I
Shall
shouldn't
we
love
move
him.
into
I mean, I
shot,
love him
by
as
the
much as I can.
No,
love
you
him.
are in the shot. It's over there. It's just Tony.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
A big thing. We'll start on that then because we're
Yeah, why
on
not?
lateness. Amorim dropped Rashford and Garnacho.
That generational talent.
Fully deserved. Fully deserved.
What
I agree.
do you reckon that was? Do you reckon that was him laying down a marker?
Well, I was listening. Did you listen to what he said?
He actually, I think he's handled it, the after, really,
I think
really
it's been
well.
brilliant. He's just said to them, it's like he's doing it on almost like a week-to-week basis. If you don't perform that week, you ain't in. But come Monday, you got a fresh
clean
start.
slate.
You got a fresh start.
It was interesting the parameters are used as well, like your nutrition, your attitude to your teammates,
Yeah.
all the stuff.
The
that,
way you
know,
speak to staff, the way you...
everything. I love that.
But, so what he's saying is them
great.
two haven't done it.
Exactly, 100%.
And
Yeah.
it was a big thing to say, you two, because if they lost yesterday, that was a big... Like, people then look at him and say, has he got it right, has he got it wrong?
Well, I think they've clearly got to change a lot at United, and the culture's obviously a big one, I think, right now. And so I think a step back to take two forwards there and really laying down the law, I think it's
It's
exactly
very
what's
damning
needed.
for Rashford.
Yeah.
Because I think, to be honest with you, the way I look at it, I think he's gone. And I think...
Well, it'll go
Where's
one
he
of two
gonna go?
ways. He'll
going?
either come.
This guy won't come good. I'm telling you now, this guy will not come good. He
don't-
might
you
come for
don't-
half a season, might come for a season. He is not a top player.
But you don't think he's going to look at that and dig his heels in, or you think he'll throw
Been
his
at Man
dollies
United
out?
since he was what,
Yeah,
12 or something,
seven
like
or
seven,
eight or
or
something
like
like that, yeah.
and he hasn't done it yet. So
Let's
He's
see.
done it
Let's see.
once. He's had one good season, but like a lot of other players had one great season.
that's what I mean. And if you
Yeah.
can't, I can't take you seriously with them sunglasses on your head.
Didn't even realise I still had
Turns
it on.
up late
Wait,
with a
I
do you
can't
know
see
what?
Sam.
Actually,
I
fucking
can't see him.
Turn up late.
He was
with
sitting
a
there with
coffee in your
sunglasses
hand.
on.
Homemade.
With a coffee in his hand. I can't believe it.
Homemade. Where
Yeah,
were the
yeah,
where were the
colour.
four-
So
where
you
were the
stopped
four
for
coffees in my
coffee.
office this
Yellow
morning?
You
card,
made
I
us
see.
wait.
Yellow
What'd you say,
to stop
Tone?
for coffee. I said he made us wait, but he clearly stopped for coffee.
I made it at home.
Offside.
And then
Where's
he's
the
got
brand?
sunglasses
Where's
on.
the brand on it?
Mate, do you know
Offside.
what that is? That's a typical Chelsea fan, that.
That is.
That's a typical
No
Chelsea
respect
fan.
for your teammates here. Waltzes in and out. Got to do meetings, sell houses,
Yeah, I know.
and all this stuff. And
Pay
then he
the-
walks
pay the
in,
bills.
I can't see
sunglasses on
him. I
his head.
can't see
Fuck
him
me,
right
he
now. I
is
can't
Rashford.
believe he had sunglasses on.
It's your world, Sam. We just.
He is the Rashford of this podcast.
The generational talent.
I think Rashford's going to come. Watch him come back.
Yeah,
I'm
listen,
gonna.
he-
I do. I think he'll
done.
dig his heels in.
He's
and
done,
I think,
hasn't he?
He's done.
I agree.
He's done.
All right.
And
well,
I
But
think the
listen,
only
who's going to
reason why
buy
they-
him though? Who
that
buys
was what I was going to
Marcus
say.
Rashford?
So who's going to buy him if he's acting like a, see you next Tuesday?
Sa- he's off to
The
Saudi.
fellas on.
Ivan Toney.
About 400 grand a week, isn't he?
Yeah, he'll be off to Saudi
think so.
eventually.
But that's going to be the big problem. I think what you'll see is Man United will subsidise his wages as he leaves to get rid of him. they're talking about he's for sale for 40 million, which I suppose he's for 40 million because of the wages is why. I was actually having this conversation today with my trainer, and I said if he leaves, he probably goes somewhere like West Ham, Spurs, you know, like
Rashford.
that's. He's not going to a top team. I'm telling you now.
West Ham, you can see
But
him going there.
where could you see him going to? Well, you think
I
a
said-
top
I said-
team will take him?
No, I said Saudi. I think he'll go.
He's too.
Yeah, no, do you know
Let-
what,
let's
Sam?
just-
I actually
Look,
agree
how
with
many
that.
other players
No,
we
no.
could have
I'm
called
saying
in
just
Saudi?
take Saudi out of it, right?
Okay.
Where's he going to in the Premier League?
In
He's
the-
going to
in
that
the
next
Premier
level,
League?
isn't he?
Newcastle, maybe.
Like that's what I mean. So he's going to
Yeah.
one of these things.
Yeah.
So then I said, but if you can't get yourself up for Man United, we're going to get up for Newcastle.
Newcastle,
How you can do
exactly.
that?
It's true.
It's impossible, isn't it? Go,
No, it's
yeah.
true.
Well, I couldn't get up for my boyhood club that all my family loves and that I love.
Yeah.
I think I think he's one of them cases where he's just had too much money,
A lot of them have. He's been on 300 grand a week for God knows how long.
and it's not. Maybe it's not his fault. Maybe he's content with that, and that's all right. He's all right to be like that.
But it's also the people that's. We talked about this, I think, a few weeks ago on the pod when we were talking about the people that he surrounds himself with. Like, he does the Belfast trip, he does all those stupid America trips.
New
and that.
York. Every
Yeah.
week there's something talking
Yeah.
about him. Now the manager's come in and gone, you know what, you've done the New York trip the first week I was here.
Yeah.
Now you've obviously not trained him well. But or maybe
How old is he? How old is he, Sam?
27,
yeah.
I'd say 27, 28.
It's a fucking young age to check out, though, that, innit?
I know.
And just
He
take
should
the
be
piss.
at his
So many
peak
have.
right now.
So many have though.
No, I listen. I mean, it's tough. You've got all the money that you'll ever need, and where's your motivation now? You know, you've
And maybe that is it. Maybe he's just content. Maybe he isn't. Maybe he was never as good as what everyone thought he was.
The drive could have gone down a little bit, you never know.
That's what. Yeah, obviously something's happened to him because he's always kind of the man there. He's not like in anyone's shadow really.
Yeah. Well,
But-
I know a guy that first of all, his brother's his agent, and sometimes in my view, having the family as your representative can be a great thing, but it can also be a massive detriment to you as well.
Well, Harry Kane.
Well,
Yeah,
Harry
Harry
Kane's probably a
Kane,
good
yeah.
example of it. But it's
There
like
weren't much of a detriment to Messi,
But you
though.
never,
Exactly.
but,
That's what I
but we
mean.
never really hear anything bad about Harry Kane. Like
No, but what I mean is, his brother.
yeah,
That 8-year contract he signed at Spurs
Yeah.
was the worst thing he ever done because then Spurs dictated where he went and then they could sell him where they wanted to. He wanted to go City, didn't he?
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let him.
That's
and he
true.
ended up in Germany. Now, Harry Kane probably wanted to go to City, didn't he? And then
I would imagine so.
City probably done by Haaland if they got Kane.
I mean, which is insane when you think about it. And they probably spent half the money on Haaland, what they would have cost Kane as well.
Yeah.
Haaland was 51 million when you think about that.
no, that's
Yeah. Can we
Maybe
also
the
just
best
talk
bit of
about another
business.
bit of unbelievable business of the fact that Chelsea are going to pay 25 million for Jadon Sancho? 25 million. for
See,
him.
I've seen people going on about Jadon Sancho.
unbelievable
recently. No,
this
no.
year. He needed a
See, I
fresh
was
start.
listening to Jody Morris this week as well,
Yeah.
who's a huge Chelsea fan.
I love Jody Morris.
And he
back in the
said,
day.
and I agree with him because I've watched Sancho,
Yeah.
and I haven't been blown away by him. He's been all right,
He's been-
and that's what he said. He
seen his
said
stats?
he's been. He said, watch him in a game. He
did.
said not actual just stats. He said he's been all right. He said he hasn't blown anyone away at Chelsea,
I
but
quite
he's
like
done
him.
all right.
I think I like him. I mean, I think he's come in. He's got a couple of goals. He's got like 7 assists in.
He
10
played very
games.
well in. Who did you beat last week?
Tottenham.
Tottenham. In that game, he did, but that's
He played
exactly.
great.
But does
That's
it not-
that actually that was Jody Morris's point. He said a winger in that game. If you don't have a good game in that game, he said Spurs are completely all open. And he said, and if you can't, he said, and let's be honest, he said Spurs are not a good team. And he said, so just put them down there, Pen.
that show-
All right, give them to Amrit and he'll put them in.
Does that show that he was mismanaged by Ten Hag, maybe at United? What do you think about that, Sam?
I don't know, but maybe he wasn't.
He's just
This is my point. We're right, like with the manager before. Like,
I mean, you hear him.
with
Listen,
Rashford.
you hear him
Thanks,
speak. Look, he's like he's obviously not an Oxford scholar,
you,
but so it's like he's going to be one of those guys that's going to need probably a lot of direction in life. And I do think that the way that I mean, for a lot of these footballers, their career in order for them to have a great successful career, it's just they have to be just as professional on the pitch as they do off the pitch. And I
the other way
find that
around?
exactly. They have to be off the pitch as they are on the pitch. And I just think it's very, very hard for a lot of young guys nowadays. I mean, we would all be culpable for it if we were that young age.
Oh, listen, it's very.
The
Imagine
adoration,
getting
the-
400 grand a
that's what I'm
week.
talking about, the money thrown at you.
19.
Yeah, correct.
And not going balubas.
Yeah, correct. It's very, very hard to keep under that control. So I think someone like
I
Sancho.
went on a grand a week and was doing going balubas.
Yeah, you do. Correct. It's like when any of them gets your first big paycheck, like you think you're Joe Millionaire, even if like you've only had 50 grand in or whatever it is, like because it's that whole.
It's easy to judge.
It's easy to judge, and it's like you don't really know what goes on behind the scenes, but
maybe also, not everyone loves football like we do. Like some of these players play, they might not love football. It's a
It's
job.
just a job.
Who was the
I was gonna say.
Who was the
It can
Tottenham
become a
left back
job.
that said he hated? Do you remember Benoit Asuakoto?
Yeah.
He
Fucking good recall.
he hated football.
Yeah.
Never watched it. Same as Ben White.
Danny Mills, I don't think.
Yeah,
was a
that's
big-
what they say about Ben White, isn't it?
Ben
That
White
that-
doesn't like football.
That was
Like,
the
he
issue with
openly says,
England.
Well, I think his dad weren't a
that
big
good at it.
fan.
Yeah.
And like he's just very good at it. And I think
Yeah.
I suppose also, what are you doing it for? I suppose, are you doing it to get your mum a new house, dad sorted, you
Yeah.
sorted for life, and then when it's done, kind of go, well, actually did
I've
complete
done it. Like,
so there is two sides to the story.
Yeah.
Like maybe we think, well, I think when we see someone with talent like Sancho, like Rashford, you go, they've wasted it. But maybe they haven't. Like I think maybe sometimes we are a bit hard on them.
For sure.
But Rashford is shit.
yeah, he's done.
By the way, I honestly don't know why I'm digging my heels in with him. I think I just
You
find
fucking
it.
love him, didn't you?
Well, I think when you've got that potential, I tell you, I think it's frustrating when someone doesn't, take that to the nth degree.
It's like Jesse Lingard though. Like, look at, and although he was nowhere near in the class of Rashford, like he was just another
I
one.
don't know. I think he was actually.
Really?
Remember
I
all
think
the
that
stuff
year
he
at West
did?
Ham,
At one
like,
point he
charity
was.
stuff he
They,
did as
they
well.
were
I
the
can
two
imagine
main.
he was good for
Man
England
United
as well,
players.
Lingard.
What, say that again, Tone?
I said at one point Jesse Lingard was on the same level as Rashford.
But he had a good.
You
8
know,
months,
they
and then that
they
was
were the
it.
two main Man United young kids, weren't they? When
Yeah.
they both broke through.
And then when he came to West
And-
Ham, he was one of the best players in the league.
But it was Pogba as well, but then he left, and then he came back, didn't he, as well? And like he was all part of like the Ravel Morrison group. Like,
yeah.
But you remember all the
Nearly nearly every one of them is a waster from that team.
yeah.
So,
Basically,
and all the charity
Yeah.
stuff that he was doing as well, Rashford. Like, he was Mr. England, wasn't he, for a minute there? Like,
Yeah,
in terms of
free
all-
school meals.
he's got
And
an MBE or OBE,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
I mean, that's a hell of a. I'm not going to
Listen,
say
he
it's a
done
fall
well.
from
He
grace.
done
but I mean,
like
it's
with that, fair play to him.
Yeah.
And then the flip side is people say, well, he should have concentrated on football and shouldn't be doing all that.
But that was all in
If
COVID, and that
that's-
was like feeding
but if
kids.
Yeah,
that's
to be
what's
fair,
important
football
to
wasn't
him,
really
who are we to
happening
say
when he was doing it.
you can't do it? Like, if that's important to you, do it. Like, really, isn't
But my point was, he's a good man. Like, I mean, he doesn't have to do that. And he went out, took time out of his day to do all that good
He
stuff.
took on the
And-
government, didn't he? 'Cause he
It
basically
was in
said-
COVID, let's be
Yeah.
honest as well. So it's not like there was football going on. It wasn't.
No, but he
Still,
don't
he
need
could-
to
he
do
could-
it.
he didn't
He's
need
like-
to do it.
He didn't need to, which is fair. But I mean, and it was very noble of him to do something like that. But yeah, I mean,
do you think he
again-
done it just for the PR?
No.
I don't even know.
Don't be so silly.
No,
I'm
that's
just,
too
I'm,
much
asking, I'm
work.
just asking that question.
Too much
I
work.
don't think he did that for the PR.
Too much work for PR.
I don't either.
Could
to
have
be
had his
fair.
PR
No.
team do something.
Yeah.
So on the Man United, we might as well start there as well. But that was the worst game of football.
What a finish.
But what a shit game
was
between
terrible.
two terrible teams.
Yeah.
I don't think we will ever get to say that, maybe ever again.
Between City,
the two worst teams, two of the worst teams in the league are Manchester United and
On
Manchester
current,
City.
yeah, on current form, yeah. I mean, City are just all over the shop.
United were dross as well. The only player they had is Ahmad.
Ahmad, yeah.
Who looked really good yesterday.
He does.
He was interesting. I thought that
He's-
second finish was lovely.
He took it unbelievably well. Like to watch it
First
come down
touch.
and then take it on. Yeah, I mean, he smashed it.
And it was a hell of an angle as well.
Yeah, City are just like it's insane. But do you know what? As nice as it is to see City going through this as a kind of a neutral football fan, let's just say, I mean, it just opens up the league to a whole exciting world of who's going to win it now. Because every year it's like who's going to stop City.
Liverpool.
Now this year it's I mean, like you.
To a whole exciting world of
Yeah.
bottle jobs.
Yeah,
Oh, the bottle jobs are back this week. Arsenal and Liverpool, the two biggest bottlers in Premier League
Mate,
history.
yeah.
you've got
I'm
to
bottling it
be
off
there
together.
to bottle it. You've got to be
so
there
Chelsea
to
are gonna
bottle
win?
it.
Listen. If you listen, we're a different level of club. That's for sure. We haven't had the infrastructure you've had over the years.
It's like speaking to Sam about the title challenge is like speaking to a lollipop man about brain surgery. What the fuck would he know about it?
And now it's
Listen,
every year
we can
from-
all grow
yeah,
up and
so-
support a team that wins. You know, like you could have supported Everton, like your family, Tone, but you decided on the title. Sam, remember you were supporting Blackburn before you supported Chelsea.
Exactly.
Like, let's have it right here. And Chris, you could have been supporting Rotherham or somewhere like that.
Brother, it's the only team I've
Exactly.
ever
We
supported.
can all support winners. That's easy in life.
Yeah.
Real teams give you
Or,
character.
or some of us are just born into it. Born into
All
silverware.
your family, big Everton fans. I know they are.
Yeah.
they
My
get
dad
lucky.
would
They
be
get
turning
result.
in his grave
Great
hearing you
result.
say that.
Everton.
It is going to be. It is going to be. I think it's going to be a hell of a season. I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's the first one in 7 years since anybody.
The Leicester
really-
one?
Well, the Leicester one was Is that the greatest achievement in sports history? By the way,
Yeah.
Yes.
it is, isn't it?
Hands down.
Across,
yeah.
if you
Yeah.
know,
For
Over
it is.
40 games.
For
And I mean all
consistency,
sports.
Yeah.
Across everything.
To do 40 games to win the league with
Yeah.
Leicester was
Yeah.
incredible. But what I mean is, that was Spurs were in that race, weren't they?
Yeah.
Chelsea were in that race.
Well,
No,
it will
not
be the
really. It
most.
was more-
since
it was
then,
Tottenham and
correct.
Leicester.
Yeah, I think so.
And then the season after that, Chelsea won it, and Tottenham came second. And I think Arsenal were in it when Leicester were in it as well.
Arsenal,
And then
that was the other
but then
one.
Arsenal bottled it as per
Yeah.
usual. I'll tell you what, watching their AFTV this weekend has just been like.
I think they are the
you ever-
biggest
if you
plank.
ever
How
need a
them
good
people, I
laugh-
don't know how people listen to them. But I
If
think
you-
they're the biggest planks in the world.
They are, but
Yeah,
it's just the best
I
thing
can't
ever.
listen to them.
It's
Who's the
best.
big
Fucking
geezer?
headache.
Robbie.
Robbie.
Yeah, but you know what? If you ever just need a good laugh and you want to see the Arsenal fans just having meltdown,
Because they have a meltdown after every game they ever
Yeah,
lose,
I
don't
know,
they?
but
Like
it's the greatest
everyone's
thing
got to be
ever.
sacked. When I've seen Martinelli's on the hit list now.
Yeah.
Arteta should be sacked. It's like they're just.
Have you seen what they call him? They call him Lego Head.
Yeah,
Lego head, yeah.
Yeah,
they wanted Wenger out. They wanted Emery out.
because of
they
the
wanted
old Barnet.
Arteta
It's
out
like-
now.
I mean, it's just brilliant. Like, but they've been going mad over him. Like, just
So, what do you think about Chelsea then? What are your thoughts?
listen.
think they can do it?
I'm just enjoing the wave. I'm not getting too carried away because there was
Sam's
no
following
See,
the Jason
this is all
Cundy
bottled talk
line
from
of-
all of you.
But-
not one of you says, "Yeah, we're
wanna
going to
win
go
it.
and do it."
Hey,
But
I'm
how can
saying
I-
I'm saying Liverpool
when you
are going to
compare
do
to
it.
last season,
You're
like,
deaf.
how can you say that? I mean, like, it's like when you.
But
look
you're
at-
in it. You're second. You're 4 points off or whatever it is.
2 points off now.
Yeah, with their game.
with their
5 points with the
their
game in hand.
hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But they might not win that game. Yeah. So you.
No, listen, I'm
gotta
happy
have the
that I'm
points.
happy that we're in it. Am I getting too carried away? No. Would I obviously love to win it? No questions asked. But I'm a realist, and I've watched football for 25 years, and I see how it is. And the number one thing in football to win titles is consistency.
I don't see much difference in them three teams, to be honest with you.
I mean,
If you had to ask me who I think, if I had to say who's the best team out of them three, or best player for player, it's really, really difficult to pick. I would actually probably put Chelsea
It's
third
probably the
in
team that spent about 12.
No, I would put
$100
Chelsea
million.
third there.
all right, because how about this for a question for you?
It's a tough question. I
But
actually
very
think
well
Arsenal
matched.
for me.
But how about
Very
this?
well
But to
matched.
ask me if Chelsea can win the league and with the expectations, let me ask you this: if let's say Cole Palmer got injured in training tomorrow, was done for the season,
Yeah.
how would you still say Chelsea are in
No.
it? So there you go.
That's what I'm. That's where-
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm.
But you know what,
tapering my
though? It's the
expectations
same,
in, because we're
it's
one
the
big injury
same
away from not
comparison
being
with
in it.
Salah, though, Sam.
I
It's
mean,
the same comparison with Salah. If we lost Salah, it'd be the same answer, wouldn't
And
it?
the same with Arsenal, mate.
But
But
you say-
that's where I say I think Arsenal's probably got a better team because
Yeah.
they've got Rice, probably second best midfielder to Rodri, in my opinion. Then you've got Saka, one of the top in the league. Odegaard, Saliba and Gabriel. The keeper's a great keeper as well.
yeah.
So I just think Arsenal have probably got a bit
Pretty
better
far back
players.
now, though, Arsenal. I mean,
No, I know
you
it's funny.
I mean,
So
it's-
I would say they're underachieving.
Chelsea go top, by the way. if
I
they
think
win.
Arsenal
yeah.
kick themselves. They should kick themselves.
Yeah.
Should they not win this league this year? Because I think
yeah,
their
so they
team,
will.
yes, they're probably the
Well, I think
striker.
we all should. Chelsea, Liverpool,
Yes, all
Arsenal.
three now.
Because City, this one.
You're never getting this opportunity ever
correct.
again
No.
to win
I
this league
mean,
like this.
this
Because
just
you've got to
doesn't
remember,
happen.
Man United ain't in it either,
Yeah, that's right.
or City.
Yeah.
So or Spurs. Like
Yeah.
so, like I know Spurs are not in title contention, but they'll nick points off of top teams, and they're not a top team. They're down in 10th.
Yeah.
Villa are underperforming this year in the
That's
Premier
because
League.
they're in the Champions League.
Exactly.
That
But
was
that's what I
always
mean. This
gonna
is where the
happen.
kind of the perfect storm comes
Yeah.
in, isn't it? Newcastle underperforming.
They've kind of come back Newcastle a bit. They had a good result this week.
Villa,
Yeah, but
Villa
they're
are last
hit
year's
and miss,
Newcastle.
aren't
They're not going to
No, they're not going to win it.
No.
Because they're not
They're not going to challenge for top 4 or anything like that.
No, but they're just another team with a load of injuries and like injury-prone players. And like, look at Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson like spent 5 months out, came back, got injured in his first training session, done for another 4 months.
Yeah.
It's like, and you can't rely on Isaac the whole time. So
No, and they do, don't they?
what I would say about Liverpool, though, Tone, going back to your point about Salah, is like, yes, Salah would be a massive, massive loss, but the fact that you can bring in players like Jota and you can bring in players
Yeah, but
like
he's not a
Diaz,
right winger, mate.
He's not, but he's like, but they're still. But
He's
Jota-
also-
No, Ian,
Jota-
I've scored some
he's
good
also
goals.
made
but
glass, though,
look
as
how many,
well.
but look how
He's
many
out
goals
more
he
than
scores. Like Jota is a
he's
goal
amazing.
scorer. Like,
Yeah,
he's a-
and you've got Nunez on the bench,
Yeah.
or Gakpo, or
Yeah.
Diaz. It's one of them
Yeah,
three, isn't
yeah,
it?
that's
they
one
might-
thing
they
that
might not
I
carry
agree
the
with
influence
that.
Salah has,
Yeah.
but like they're still good players that you can bring in.
There are.
Chelsea
There
was
are,
Cole Palmer
yeah.
and
Harvey Wilson.
Oh, yeah,
Harvey Elliott. Sorry, I'm
Elliott.
thinking of Wilson. Plays
Harvey
for.
Elliott. I mean, he's a good player. I mean,
Yeah.
So it's just like, I mean, you've got
Yeah.
Chelsea do have the squad depth as well, but
I'd much rather be bringing on Harvey Elliott than Mudryk, for example.
Yeah, correct.
Like I just
would.
don't like some of Chelsea's backup. I look at Chelsea's defence as a worry.
The goalkeepers.
I
He
think
should
the
have saved that
goalkeeper is
from,
the biggest problem.
yesterday, shouldn't he?
Mbeumo,
What a goal it was though from Mbeumo. The
Yeah.
pass was unbelievable, wasn't it?
incredible.
I think someone buys him. If I was Arsenal, I'd be looking at him. Arsenal need a bit better. If you're going to win the league, you need a bit better than that. But someone, he's a consistent goal scorer.
I
this
could see him
guy.
going somewhere like Tottenham.
They just bought Solanke for 65 though.
But he's not an out-and-out number 9, though, Mbeumo. He's more like a...
I think
that's
him
what they-
and Wissa.
They're
I think
great.
they're really good players. I think
They don't miss Tony whatsoever. It's like Ivan who?
Yeah,
Like, literally,
Yeah.
like, it's wild.
I think they've done. I really like Brentford, but again, you got you beat them yesterday, but Brentford home and Brentford away are
Oh, it's
completely
two different teams.
One, I think Brentford home would be top of the league.
Yeah.
Brentford away are bottom
20th,
of the
yeah.
league.
They've got one draw away from home this year, lost every other game.
That's incredible,
And
isn't
then
it?
out of their 8 home games, I think they won 7,
Yeah,
which is just crazy, isn't it?
yeah. They're the best. They've got the best home form in the whole league, haven't they?
But they were unlucky
But-
yesterday, I thought. They
Sam,
played
your
well.
manager though, your manager looks like the real deal. The Chelsea
He
manager.
does.
You love him, don't you?
I'm talking
He
Sam
does.
Collins.
Real
Yeah.
Madrid.
Yeah, no,
Next
he-
season, so was your shout, wasn't it?
I think so, mate. Listen, that was my
I'm going
what
Xabi
did
Alonso.
a hot take. A hot
Yeah,
take.
I could see Xabi Alonso going to Madrid before I could see Enzo going there. And I think
Maybe,
he's-
maybe. But the point was, I like your manager, mate.
I do.
I think he's great.
He knows his
What did he
stuff.
say last week? It's a big game for them. For us, it's Saturday or something against Tottenham, wasn't
How
it?
long we got here, Emma?
Yes. Yeah.
Like that. Love that.
Do you know what? We're going to finish it up here because I want to go into Chelsea a little bit more.
Yeah.
We're going to have a short break and then we're going to come right back. Welcome back. Oh, well, let's do it again because Sam was dragging a cut. Welcome back to Football or Soccer, the podcast. We are about to discuss Chelsea. So, Sam, tunes have changed a little bit. So, let me
have.
just set the mind for everyone here. So, me and Sam, we speak a lot about football weekly. Sam has been going off about the ownership of Chelsea now for 2 years.
Yeah.
Awful, get these people out of my club, out of my head. Yeah. Like every week, right? All of a sudden, have we all got, because it wasn't just you, every single person in the world were, Chelsea were the laughing stock of the world football.
We were the billionaire bottle job.
I was just about to say that, yeah. Neville said the billionaire bottle jobs. They couldn't get anything, just buying all these players. No one knows. They've got rid of a load, even though they've bought them in. No one kind of really knows who's even at the club anymore because there's so many of them. Did the American owners know more or have they got lucky?
I think it's the latter. I think they got lucky. It's because it's about the infrastructure that you bring in. I think because when they fired Pochettino after winning 5 games on the
Which
bounce
everyone
last
also
season-
said was ridiculous.
Yeah, I was on the fence about Pochettino because we'd been so shit throughout the season.
Yeah.
And then we kind of came together towards the end. But
Yeah.
it was one of those situations where any type of manager is going to take their time. You throw 20 players at them.
It was going to be devastating.
They're going to,
everyone.
correct.
Yeah.
They're going to need to take time to gel. And we certainly showed, I would say, shoots of growth towards the end of last season. And everyone was like, okay, this is all right. This is coming along. We finished 6th, which traditionally for Chelsea is not a great season.
No.
But when you look at where it was the season before, when we finished 10th under Frank, and that was just disaster, I don't think anyone really went into the Pochettino season with too many expectations. But when it got to the end, and we did the 5 games on the spin, and then they fired him, everyone was just like, "Oh, here we go."
The laughing stock continues.
Is this just going to be another merry-go-round of a joke of what's going on? I hadn't watched too many Leicester games with Maresca under them, but the ones that I had seen, because it randomly pops up with the Championship on ESPN out here.
Yeah.
So I'd watched a couple of Leicester games, and they looked quite good, and I always saw him on the touchline, and he was always screaming and shouting, and I like that in a type of manager, and I think that's, without trying to divert too much, I think that's what Ange Postecoglou's got a problem with. He's not animated enough on the sidelines, doesn't say enough. And I think to manage a young group of players, you need to be constantly screaming and shouting and directing. And you go here, you go there, you run this channel, you run down the wings there. So bringing Maresca in, I think, has just been such a transformation. I mean, he was Pep's assistant for a number of years, so he's
Manuel Pellegrini as well. West Ham.
correct. So he's worked under some.
Wasn't Maresca one of the ones in the photo with the cigar?
Yes,
Remember that
I think
photo?
so. I
He
think
was,
so.
wasn't he?
I think so.
That was the best photo. That was amazing.
So he's worked under some great guys. He's clearly a highly intelligent man. When you listen to him speak and the way he kind of theorizes stuff and he analyzes footballers. And when the Chelsea owners spoke about him in the interview process, they basically came out and said that he came into his Chelsea interview knowing more about the Chelsea players and the reserves and the under-18s than the chief scout at the club knew. And that was what blew them out of the water, and that's how he got the job, because it was just his in-depth knowledge of every single player in our squad. And he's obviously come in and he's done an unbelievable job. I think
because he had a bad pre-season as well, didn't he? Pre-season was not great for Chelsea, was it?
It wasn't great, no. And it was funny because under Poch we were flying in pre-season.
Yeah.
We won all our games under Poch pre-season.
And Cuckoo was your big man in pre-season the season before, wasn't he?
Yeah,
and then got injured, didn't he?
He got injured in the last game, and then that was it. I do also think another thing that has helped Maresca's fortunes is Jackson knows how to put the ball away this year. Whereas last year he was just like
everyone sort of gave him a bit of a hard time.
They did.
All of us included.
They
right?
did.
But he's starting to look quite good.
He
isn't
is. The whole team is. Caicedo's looking unbelievable. Even Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah.
Who I think
Lavia, that three in the midfield seemed to be working.
I think Enzo Fernandez had some stuff going on in his personal life behind the scenes. He's just binned off his missus and the mother of his kids and stuff, and now he's dating some wild Instagram model.
Got in London, he's having it off.
Exactly. He's now having it off, and his form's through.
He got that Chelsea money. He got that Chelsea money and binned off his missus.
Exactly. But
had an upgrade.
The players have definitely stepped it up this year. I think the owners. I think the nice thing is we're not seeing Todd Bowley rammed in our faces every week on Sky Sports.
Yeah.
He's I think they've kind of taken a big step back from being there, because I think being the face of it was just antagonizing everyone too much. You've got this called these American baseball loving idiots, and here they are coming to ruin our football. And now that we're not seeing them every game, now that we're not seeing the cameras panning on them every game.
Well, because when there's no bad news,
there's nothing to report.
No one wants to report good news today.
So they've just left it. They've just left them, and I do think that. I mean, it was always going to be a risk spending $1 billion on players, and it's almost like we're at where we probably should be, but we're a very young squad. We're a very young team still, and
I actually couldn't name your squad. I couldn't name your back line. I couldn't. I struggle with Chelsea. They've got players there that I don't know. Obviously, Cole Palmer is the standout in that team. I watched the forward players in midfield. Your defence, I would struggle with naming your defence.
Well,
Cucurella
is good. Well, I mean, look,
his header yesterday was unbelievable.
Yeah, I was so stupid.
He got sent off, didn't he, at the end?
So stupid.
That is really stupid
ridiculous.
of him, isn't it?
Now he's going to miss the Everton game next week.
That was a silly. What you'd won?
Yeah, it was done. The final whistle was already over. He went and shoved. I mean, it was that Mikael Damsgaard was getting him going, but he got him going and he got him sent off. So what can you say?
The manager's got to go mad.
But
I think Maresca as well. He started with pressure on him because he'd binned so many players, made them train the reserves.
Mm-hmm.
But he went in and said, "Right, I want a 25-man squad or whatever it was. You lot are in the reses."
I know.
I'm very sorry for you guys,
squad.
but
it's crazy when you think about it. Ben Chilwell.
Raheem
Sterling.
Yeah.
Who else did he bin off? Trevor
Chalobah, yeah.
all good players that are now.
Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, Conor Gallagher. Well, I mean, look,
That was sold but for fair play,
yeah,
without a doubt. But
correct. That was done to balance the books, but 40 million for Conor Gallagher, in my view, was
Along with a couple of
I don't
hotels.
know, I actually think
he's
all
not
right,
that-
so
he's-
40 million. So 40 million, let's just say. Yeah, I think Colin Gallagher's a good player, right? But they obviously would not sell him to the Premiership because I think Villa offered you more than that the year before.
Yeah, but I don't think they don't want to. You don't want to strengthen a rival. You always want to see them go abroad if they can, and they've got good money.
Because
for
I'm
it.
surprised someone like Spurs, West Ham, that at 40 million, they
Well,
don't.
Spurs did-
they're not all in for him.
Spurs
Newcastle.
did bid for him, but Spurs have James Maddison, and James Maddison's like their version of Conor Gallagher, I reckon. He's obviously better than Conor Gallagher, but he plays in that number 10 role.
Gallagher's not a number 10 though, is he?
Well, for that, I mean, he's like he's
An 8, isn't
He's
he?
an 8 or a 10.
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't
He
strike me
played,
as
he
a
played
10.
more. He played more as a 10 for Crystal Palace when he went on that season on that loan there.
Right.
He scored quite a lot of goals there when he was there, but
Palace got a good win this weekend.
had a great win yesterday.
With,
Their biggest rivals, Brighton.
Yeah, well, what was the
It's
final
funny,
score
isn't
in
it,
the
how
end?
Palace they won 3-1.
It was 3-1. Yeah,
They were 3-0 up.
yeah. It was. They.
Yeah.
They've put some good results. They drew with.
Together now.
Was
they
it
have.
Liverpool? Who did they draw
City.
with last
City,
week? City.
2-2.
That's it. Sorry, City.
Yeah.
They've put a few little results together, haven't they? I'm surprised Palace have struggled so much this year.
Well, they lost one of their. They lost Elise, didn't they?
Yeah.
They lost a lot, and they lost that big defender that went to.
Did
Fulham.
anyone see Elise's goal in the Champions League
Yeah,
last week?
unbelievable.
Did you see it? Oh, you got to go
Unbelievable.
and see it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
He goes
incredible.
round. He goes round the keeper, and then just as he in front of the keeper, he's like 3 yards out. He could knock it either side. Goes like that, and the keeper falls over, and then he just puts it in. He puts him on the floor, but he puts another player before it on the floor.
It was
Like,
amazing.
It's so cool, isn't it? How
He's
he
a-
does it.
I mean, the fact that he stayed fit for Bayern Munich is unbelievable. He couldn't string 5 games together for
He
Palace.
was a
and
good
now-
player for them.
Great player. But Palace lost Elise. They also lost their captain, the centre back, Joachim Andersen, the guy that went to
Yeah,
Fulham.
went to Fulham, didn't he?
And
Yeah.
that was always going to take time to recover from that. I think they got very lucky the fact that Mark Gu didn't go to Newcastle. That was a big save
Yeah.
for them. And the fact that he didn't kick up too much of a fuss about it either, which kind of shows what a consummate professional he is. But yeah, once they kind of got Mateta firing, once they got Eze in the team and bang up and running, I mean, they've got some good players, Palace. I think,
Yeah, I think so.
I think
And do you
they'll
know,
be
I was thinking of like obviously Liverpool slipped points this week at Fulham. Was that 2 points dropped or a point gained? Because I actually think that was a really good result for Liverpool.
Well, after Robertson
because you
goes
had
off.
you had 10 men for pretty much the whole game
I think it's got to be. It's a point
for
one.
70
What
minutes.
was it? 20 minutes? Was it 20 minutes
17.
when Robertson got sent
Yeah,
off?
17 minutes.
Yeah.
He's become a bit of a
17.
liability,
He
Robertson,
He has,
this year.
unfortunately, and I love
He's
him.
probably just getting. Is he? How old is he now?
29, maybe.
He's
Oh, is he? I thought he was
listen. Andy Robertson's given us a lot of good memories, but
He's got to be
time.
up there.
love
He's
him.
got to be up there in the shout for one of Liverpool's greatest ever left backs.
Yeah, I would say so.
Well,
you say?
Liverpool have never had, the best left backs in the world. Maybe the best one I can remember. I don't know about you, Chris, is Stevie Nicol,
Yeah.
which was a
Yeah.
long old time ago.
Yeah.
You know, in
prefer him to
between
John
we've got the
Onorisa.
likes of
John
Bjornaby, Onorisa, yeah.
Steve Finnan?
But
He was a right back.
we've never been
Right back,
blessed
was
with the
he?
best left backs, but I would say he's probably up there for sure. But it's time for Robertson.
What?
I think
But
it's
did you
time.
say he's only 29?
I think he's only 29,
Google
yeah.
that.
No,
I'd be
Robert.
surprised- I'd
I
be
think
surprised if he was
he's
older
older
than
than that.
30.
It's one of the best bits of business we've ever done.
I thought he was much older than that. That's
Yes.
what I thought.
Yeah.
Was it 5 million we bought
I
him for?
think because
I mean, he's been unbelievable.
He's
for us. I
30.
love
So he's
it.
not. I thought he was
That's what-
older. That's why
yeah.
I was thinking he's coming to the end. So
Yeah, no,
maybe
He's
just
dropped.
burnt out
He's
off the
dropped
clock.
off a little bit of a cliff in the last. I wouldn't even say the last few months. I would actually say the last couple of years, because he was another one of the underperformers when Klopp had that terrible second to last season, along with Fabinho and Henderson and all that kind of stuff. But it's time for Robert. It's time for him. It's time for him to either accept his part on the bench or move on.
Did we
'Cause
get someone
he's-
else in, or
he's-
do you like Simicast, Toe?
Not good
Say
enough.
that again.
I agree. Do we get someone else in, or do you like Simicast?
No. Simicast it should never have been a Liverpool number 2, even. Number
I
2
agree with that.
left back. No, we need a kid. We need a 23, 24-year-old. No, definitely not.
convert
Him.
Conor,
Definitely not
what's
him.
his name? Conor Bradley to a left
Bradley
back.
over there, yeah.
but he's a right footer. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, why not just go and buy it? If you want to win a league, you go and buy a left back. It's simple as that. Like, it's like you can't be
it's true. It's kind
winning
of-
leagues with right footers at left back.
yeah.
And like, look, you get away with it maybe, but if you're looking at this long term future of a club, surely you got to go and buy it. I suppose other big talking point is obviously Pep. He looks like he's cracking up, doesn't he?
He
at the
does.
minute?
He does.
More
I think
scratches
And all
on
the,
the edge.
do you see all the players as well, though?
agree, yeah.
Foden, they're talking about like the mentality, the it's all set in a little bit.
Yeah.
Like they're
Well,
all.
it's permeating the team like that, raggedness that you really don't associate with him at all. And again, you'd hope, at least I would hope, that again I use the word stoic, like whether it's good or it's bad, you're the rock, and everyone can look at you and go, he's all right, so I'm all right. And is the way that he's dealing with it is curious. I would
Weird
say.
choice of words yesterday when he said, "I'm not good enough."
Well, that's what I mean. It's
Weird.
Yeah,
It's
that
not
was
illegal,
very
is it?
strange.
It's-
Never
That
was
wouldn't
really
hear Alex
strange.
Ferguson
No, it is.
say,
It's-
"I'm not good enough."
It's fucking energy sucking. It's
Yeah.
like energy vampire. It's making it.
He's such an
it's-
emotional man, though, isn't he?
It
He's
is.
He's an emotional man, and I think he's also a bit like a petulant child.
Yeah.
And he's doing that with like, well, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough because he wants them to say, no, you are. You've
That's
won it
my
all.
point.
I
And
think
it's
there's a
like-
bit of that with him.
There's no
This is uncharted-
question.
this is
Whereas a
uncharted
little bit of
territory.
me wants to actually see him keep losing,
Yeah.
and see if he goes completely off his rocker.
Mate, a little bit of you.
I actually
A
think
lot
he
of
walks.
me wants to see him do that.
I think he'll go at the end of the year. If they carry on
Yeah.
and they have a shocker, because the reality is like,
Oh no, Man City at one point are going to go. Listen, we're a business here.
yeah.
You can't just have a man just.
You think he's unsackable or no?
No one's unsackable.
Yeah, no,
I think
I-
he's
yes,
unsackable.
I don't think they want to
I
or whatever.
disagree.
I can't see them sacking.
No,
him.
but I
disagree.
think he'll actually come
He's
to the thing of.
unsackable. They're not worried about making money. They're not looking at it like it's a business, like the traditional business.
Well,
They're
you
not
think he's
worried about that.
unsackable, Tone?
He's unsackable.
I think you're completely wrong. I think no one's more ruthless than them.
I would be very surprised if they did sack him after what he did. I think. they
No,
let
I
him
would
walk-
be, but I actually don't think it comes to sacking. I think it's him that will walk away.
Yeah, I think
and
he'll
say,
go.
I clearly need a break.
But you know what it is? It's like City are in. They.
You might be right.
If it continues,
Well, if you put it this way, City, in my view, anyway, they're at the end of an era.
yeah.
De Bruyne's probably not going to be there next year. He's 33.
He's not gonna be there.
He's 34 in
100%.
June. Gundogan came
Yeah.
back, missing the energy and missing that kind of oomph from one season in Barcelona. Kyle Walker's 34.
Yeah.
They are Edison is like not as invincible as he used to look. Like even like the fact they've been missing Rodri all year. They shouldn't have sold Alvarez. Like they've made a couple of big mistakes, City, and they've got a
Grealish
couple-
never does it.
Grealish, I mean, for me, he's probably not. He cannot use that Champions League season anymore that he had when they won the treble. As
He's
I'm
had
still-
one good season the whole time he's been
That's
at,
what I'm talking
at
about.
City, I think.
He for me is not supposed. I mean, because people love him and he's Jack the Lad and all that stuff. He's given an excuse, in my view, as not being £100 million flop.
Yeah, and look, the price tag he probably was never £100 million pound player in
Never.
the first place, which is
Would
that's
you?
not his fault.
Could you see someone paying 50 million for Grealish now?
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah, I
At
think
nearly
100% you get 50 million.
He's 30 now, nearly. Or he's coming up to 30.
Is
Jack
he?
Grealish, yeah. He's
Maybe
young.
not then. I thought he was a lot younger.
No,
than
he's 29, Jack Grealish now. He's going to be 30.
that. No,
next
then
year.
maybe not 50 million.
So that's what I'm saying. So like,
I also don't think he'll go to a top team.
no.
I think he goes to a Spurs.
Or he could go back to Aston Villa or something.
Probably goes
Like,
back
I
to
think that's
Villa,
where he goes.
doesn't he? Yeah, I agree with that, Sam. He goes back to Villa.
Yeah, he goes
If
back.
they'll
Goes
have
back
him,
there.
if they need
I'm
him,
sure they'd welcome him back there.
don't know.
They must,
Maybe
but
they
they
don't.
must, but City must be tired. I mean, after what 4 on the bat? I mean,
Exactly.
it's like it's
How'd
kind
you
of
keep going every year
It's like,
winning
the Chicago,
everything?
it's like the Chicago Bulls. Like when you watch that, I'm sure you've all watched. What's it called? The what's the
Last
documentary called?
Dance.
The Last Dance.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how they just kept pushing, and then that last season they were just like, we knew we were done. We knew we didn't have the energy to do it again next year.
Well, it wasn't. They were going to sack them all. Like they were going to get
Yeah.
rid of
Yeah.
them all. So like
Yeah.
they knew it was the last one, so
Yeah.
they did it. But yeah, so I don't know. I think failure is, you see how people deal with it, and I would have liked to have seen Pep a little bit more, I don't know, handling it a bit better.
Well,
I don't think
I suppose
Yeah, I
failure
agree
is
with that.
amped
I
up.
think he seems defeatist. He seems like if I was one of his
Sam,
players
though,
and he's
petulant.
like, "Oh, I'm
He's
terrible.
Yeah,
I'm not good
I think
enough."
it is a bit. I think also failure now is amped because of podcasts, social media. So everyone's it's everywhere he looks now. It's about him being a failure, and he's like looking. And I suppose it must actually get you down. To be honest with you, like
I'm
if
sure
it's
I'm sure he's losing.
like
I'm
this
sure,
man's a
yeah.
consummate professional. He's a
100%.
consummate winner, right?
That's
So
right.
he's never faced it. And maybe he doesn't know how to get it out of himself. He can scream and shout all he wants, but if the players are not responding, there's nothing he can do, is there? So it's like they're giving away the most stupid of goals. Like that penalty.
Yeah.
And actually,
Yeah, what
fair
was he
play to
doing?
Bernardo Silva. He actually said it, didn't he? He said it's like an under-15s. We were like under-15s. We were 2 minutes to win, and we give away like the most stupid penalty. And then the doubt sets in. Then Foden says like, yeah, that it started happening, and then mindset goes. And you kind of all the players are frail at the minute. They look like they all need
It is
a week away together.
A lot of it is
go-karting
mindset.
or something.
100%. But that's
That
also
starts at the top, though, doesn't it?
100% it does. But talking about the mindset, but that's why going back to the question about whether Chelsea can win the league or not, I'm not sure, because when Brentford scored yesterday, that came from a Chelsea throw-in near their
Yeah, I
corner.
know.
So the fact that you don't have it in your mind of we're 2-0 up, you got 7 minutes left, let's call it. Keep it in the corner, don't do this, don't do that. Like they just didn't have that right mentality of we are winners and this is what we're going to do. Gave the ball away, 2 seconds later, ball's in the back of the net.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and Maresca was furious about that yesterday.
And
Absolutely
rightly so.
fuming about it, 100%. So it's like,
But that's like Man United. You look like I saw a few things of Man United yesterday. Like, yeah, they got the win. Man United were dreadful yesterday.
no, they were terrible.
Oh, that was it.
I reckon that was
They were
one of the
both
most boring.
dreadful.
Do you know what? It was like
Fernandes
watching West Ham. But I was looking at this going, this is like watching a West Ham game. But then I thought, we're 3 points behind Man United. This is West Ham. Like, we're all in. If they lost that yesterday, they were close to a relegation scrap.
100%.
They have not got the players of that team.
Do you think you're going to beat Bournemouth today?
It's so funny. I don't even look at West Ham at the minute because I want us to lose so the manager gets the sack.
Yeah.
But I don't want us to lose. But if we win, we keep him again and again and again. The owners, they've got to make a decision with him. He's just hanging over the club.
If he keeps winning.
No one. We beat Wolves. Like, let's be honest with you.
Yeah.
They're fucking dog shit. They're probably the worst. They're up there with the worst teams in the Premier League.
Southampton have got to be up there with the worst ever. isn't
So
they?
we saw Gary
There we go.
O'Neill this week get the chop.
Yeah.
Russell Martin's been given the chop.
Finally. Not like we haven't been talking about that coming for the
No,
last few weeks.
but you know, there's only 2 English managers in the Premier League now
Really?
who are both
Yeah.
close to the chop.
Eddie Howe?
And Sean Dyche.
I wouldn't say Eddie Howe's that close to the chop, is
I
he?
think he is.
Really?
Newcastle are not playing well this year.
They've come back.
They got a win this week.
I think they're up in 7th.
They got beat last week.
Who did they play last week?
I was 2-1, I think. Again,
Should have thought about that
Shearer
before we
ripped
asked
them
that
to
question.
pieces last week. They lost away to someone last week. I'll have a look. But go West Ham. To be honest,
That was
I'm
Brentford.
It was Brentford, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They got beat
3-1, wasn't it?
4-2.
4-2, that was
Yeah.
it. Yeah. They
So-
lost to Brentford, yeah.
They're not doing great. Newcastle. They're in 12th.
I don't think Eddie Howe's
They were just
job's
above Man
in
United.
in the
Yeah, Kevin,
question.
that's
So Eddie, I think Eddie's in a bit of trouble. I think Sean Dyche is in a bit of trouble.
I
So
think
then there could
Dyche
be
is in
nobody.
more trouble than Eddie Howe.
Although he's
think
put
Dyche-
some results together, hasn't he?
Yeah. We'll see
They're
that.
just Everton are a complete
They're
nothing
just a
team.
mess. It's mad. Considering the size of the
Yeah.
stadium they're going to next year as well, it's just going to be insane.
It's hard to think.
How are they even going to fill that?
I know.
Could be in the Championship.
No, they'll fill it.
What I was going to say as well, we're
Everton
going
will fill
to
a
wrap it
stadium,
up
no
here as
problem.
well. I also want to say this week, coming up later this week, we have got the interview with Derek Williams for Atlanta United. We actually got to sit with Derek after he was on the show last week. And
Mega that, wasn't it?
good little interview. So that's coming up this week. We're going to see a bit of change come into the pod in the next few weeks because I'm off to Dubai today. Tone's off hot-footing it around everywhere. Where are you going, Tone?
I'm going to Paris, Liverpool, and Rome. The 3
Fucking
capitals
Two
of
of, those,
fashion.
two of those 3 destinations sound great, Tony.
Yeah. The 3 fashion capitals of Europe.
I was going to
And you got your mum and dad come. You got your mum coming
picking them up today from the
today.
airport. Yeah.
What are you up to over the holiday season?
We're going to
Why
Canada.
am I saying holiday? Christmas.
Christmas. We're going to go to
I
Canada.
know we got
Very
a Jew
American
here,
of you.
but I know we got a Jew here, but
it's all right.
I'm saying Christmas.
It's all right. You're big American. You over there.
We've got Canada and then New York with the kids for New Year, which I'm
Very
really
nice.
looking forward to.
Oh, that's gonna be lovely. Isn't it?
Oh, nice.
So we're going to
Nice.
change it up here a little bit. So we're not going to see our fancy studio for a few weeks. So we're going to be doing it on laptops.
On the
so I
fly.
want people to bear with us. The quality, we haven't gone skint and we haven't, and the budget's gone out the window. No, we're just going to be doing it, but you're going to might have to bear with us because we don't know how we're going to do it. I've got a 12, we're going to have to be time zones.
Yeah.
So it's going to probably change up, but we should be all right. So we're going to still bring you Premier League. And obviously I cannot wait. I'm going to Dubai. I'm going to get in that Dow and Anchor pub every single night in the Jumeirah, watching football. Getting pissed. I've said to Petra, I said to Petra the other day, I hope you and the kids have a lovely time in Dubai.
I'll see you at the airport when we get back.
I'll see you there. Brilliant. So I've got loads of mates there. There'll be loads of football. The kids are doing the soccer camp over there, football escapes. I think Jolien Lescott's doing that. So it should be fun. Brilliant. So we'll be playing a bit of football and all that. So we'll get, obviously bear with us if the quality's a bit not there. We'll be back to this in the new year. Thank you to everyone and thank you to all. But we will have a couple more bonus episodes coming up. Derek this week will come up probably Thursday. And then we'll probably have a questions and answers episode the following week as well. So I will see you all later. Come on, you Irons.
Sounds good. Up the
Go you
Chels.
Reds.
Up the Reds.
Up the Reds.